once again today.
Of course.
And we couldn't be happier.
Very happy to have Patrice on board.
Now, what sucks, it's now, 7:06 on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
We just did an hour of radio. Why don't we just throw mics on in the office, and then we could, coast?
Then we just sit back.
Because now I feel like we entertained a lot of people, but we just entertained ourselves.
Not just ourselves.
You know, because right now we can just push play and sit back and go, look what we did already.
But you know what? I don't think we have a finite number of conversations to have about nothing. We all kind of like do that. Kind of interesting nothing kind of guys.
Interesting nothing.
You know what I mean? We could just talk about horse shit. You know what I mean? It's like when you do that, you just never run out of stuff.
It's pretty much the secret of the show. Just
sometimes it's magical horse shit. Like you could hear Opie editing even regular conversations where me and you are like, yeah, man, these goddamn Arabs, and Opie like, all right, this is going nowhere. And he's just like, it's like, no, Opie, there's no one
on here. We'll just move on.
We'll move on. We're gonna clear this out. You're gonna press a button.
Yeah, we'd have gone another 2 hours on some bullshit.
Hey, we got this thing on the nanny here. Wait a minute, we're having a regular conversation. Opie.
I do that in my regular life too, man. I got one brother on the phone. I'm like, you're boring. I'm gonna call another brother. He's more interesting.
All right, thanks for spending a few minutes with us this afternoon.
He'll make a sound in the background. Fag!
Yeah.
You suck! Boring! It's like, wait a minute, Opie. We're just friends having a conversation, right?
Yapping. But sometimes we forget the reason we all come together at 6 in the morning. We are friends and we're talking, but we're also trying to shape a show together.
Yeah, kind of pound one together.
If you want to really just hang as friends, let's get out of this. Let's get to 11 o'clock and we'll go hang at the Brooklyn Diner or something.
Now you're talking, just plain crazy.
But as soon as I walk in here, I'm in show mode. Come on.
Is that what
I'm listening to every single conversation going on in this building, thinking, all right, we could use that, That sucked. I won't go there.
I used to do that as a comic, and I just found that I started running. Like every time I thought something was funny, I would try to do it on stage or do it. I always thought that it helped your well of funniness to just be as funny as you could all the time. So I think it would help your well of conversation to just talk about nothing all the time, so you just don't run out. You just don't run out of shit to say.
Well, no, what's frustrating is like there's some shit we do in that back office that unbelievably funny. So we go, we're feeling good. We come into here to try to do the same exact thing.
Nothing.
It never works.
Save it for the air, and it just comes off.
Well, that's what we do now. If we know, like, whoa, that's way too good, we don't even finish it. We're like, whoa, just say that.
Just stop.
But that's taking a gamble, too, because you don't know if it would have fallen apart in the office. Now, save it for the air. You get to the point that you stop doing it in the office, and it falls apart.
Well, that's why I'm glad you guys had me come on, because one thing that amazed me about radio is are these motherfuckers getting up every day and doing 4 and 5 hours of what? How do you do
horse shit?
What
How
happens?
do you do it?
How do you do this? And then people like that. There's a show that comes on Party Interruption on ESPN. You know, I love that show, and I never watch it going, they probably had a bad day, didn't get no sleep. Went to sleep late, had a funny sleep day. If they have a bad show, I go, you had a bad fucking show. Like you don't get credit for yesterday or the day before. It's like you gotta be good.
You are only as good as your last show.
So
that's it.
That's what's frustrating. You know, we had a great show yesterday, and we kind of enjoyed that for a few hours, and then all of a sudden you have to think forward. All right, what are we doing tomorrow? What are we doing tomorrow?
It does mess with the confidence because you go, we had a great show yesterday. Somebody calling, and you really start to question if you fizzled out. Like I come here today, and I feel like, okay, all right, they had enough of me. All right, enough of Patrice. Listen, I'm not gonna come in tomorrow because they don't need to.
I don't want to. I don't want to overexpose myself.
Isn't Bobby available? Get Bob, because it's just ridiculous. And I'm going, wait, these guys come in every day
to do this.
Every day. And then when you have a bad show, you got to sit there and eat it for 24 hours until 20 hours, whatever it is, until you come in and get your next show.
And then your whole insecurity goes, man, you guys you just go, I think I'm fizzling out.
Maybe that's it. Maybe after 10, 11 years, the tank's dry.
Yeah, maybe our better days are behind us.
Puked out my last story.
I'm a 410 trick pony.
We should maybe we could start drilling in Alaska, but I don't know.
Yeah, there's got to be something there.
We got to move all the equipment up there.
Conversation
we got to kill the wild the wildlife. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it.
Yeah, to go somewhere we haven't gone yet.
Exactly.
A finite number of talent. Can you imagine? It's like the NBA. It's like I'm an All-American in high school, in college, and then in the pros.
Yeah.
Oh no,
You're done.
See, we're not stupid. We will ride you motherfuckers all the way to 11.
Well, that's the good thing. That's the great thing about. I'm telling you, not to blow you guys. I don't need to. I know you guys long enough. But that's the one thing when I did the first time did the show over on in the other show.
NEW, yeah.
NEW. Is that you dudes will let do. I go, no one lets any comics come on for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and do absolutely act stupid.
Yeah.
For 2 hours. And it's like, you know what? Thank God, man.
It just seems to work.
You got to be secure in what you do, Yeah. We brought this up many times. At the end of the day, I mean, I got a lot of phone calls yesterday how great the show was. I didn't personally do much yesterday. You killed. Well, but I get the credit at the end of the day. Anthony gets the credit. We get the credit. I
believe that that whole Seinfeld kind of thing where it's like he never was funnier than anybody. But it's like he's the star. You're never going to be bigger than the star of the show.
That's what amazes me about Seinfeld.
The name on the
because he gets all the credit. But I mean, come on,
he was
Jason
never
Alexander,
the funniest dude on the show. Never was he the funniest dude.
Killed on Seinfeld.
They were hilarious people, but it's like he's the man.
But he's the man they look at as no, you were the guy.
Yeah, man. So that's why I love coming. It's just I love that shit. It's funny, man, to come in and talk shit.
I know, just talk shit.
And then the creepiness of some goddamn trucker going, hey, I heard that the bird flew. It's like, what are you doing, you creepy motherfucker? Who are you?
The whole medium really is a little creepy, isn't it?
We're entertaining a mass murderer right now. There's a dude with some body somewhere doing, goddamn, those motherfuckers, they are really funny guys.
There's a dude sawing up a body right now, laughing, and just
you think he's doing it like right now, sawing it up with us blasting in the background?
Somebody in the back going,
He's got
like some Reservoir Dog cut the ear off scene going on, but we're playing on the radio.
He's got his Mi-Fi on, and he's just digging a shallow grave somewhere in the middle of the woods.
Hey, have you guys ever had somebody do that in your career, like call and go, help me, fellas, help me.
We had a false alarm on some guy that said he murdered some people.
Yeah.
But he turned out to just be a psycho.
We had detectives and everything. Eddie. This guy Eddie called up and basically admitted to killing all sorts of drug dealers and burning up their bodies. He was so believable.
Very detailed.
So believable that the detective showed up.
And what made you know he was faking?
We didn't know until
we had no idea for a day or two.
Out.
We had camera crews all over the place. It was about to break to become a huge story. And then I guess the detectives found the guy and went to his house.
Realized he was just a lunatic.
And I guess the guy answered the door in his underwear, and basically the detectives were like, this guy couldn't do shit. They just knew.
They got stories of Colombian drug dealers that he was killing in warehouses, setting their bodies on fire and just leaving a burning pile of ash there.
It was very believable.
And he was calling for your help?
Pretty good.
Like,
no, he was just kind of bragging.
Well, no, Stalker Patty needed a place to live.
Oh, right, and he was opening up his house to her.
And he called, said, I'll take Stalker Patty in, and then we just started asking
We wanted to know his background. See if she was safe, and his background turned out a little wacky.
So the camera crews and everything, they were all set up and ready to go, and then they got the word that this guy was just a lunatic, and then they all just packed up their equipment and went home.
Yep.
The calls that, sometimes I come in and the calls, like, the truckers there's a lot of truckers, man.
Yeah. And every time I watch those Discovery Channel things or investigative reports, he was a trucker driving a lonely road where he picked up a hitchhiker, and you're like,
Large Marge.
There it is. Just dumps her body in a shallow grave. And
hey, this is Crazy Raccoon in 10-4. Where you at? Oh, I'm in the middle of Arizona, baby.
Hair fibers were found in the sleeper compartment of his truck. There's a few of them listening.
It's amazing when I go, and the XM thing, which is great. Because it's like they driving all across country.
Yeah, the truckers are driving cross country, and they, it used to be a pain in the ass for them, changing stations every few miles. Now they could just, pop this on or anything else they like, music, and just listen.
They're keeping this whole thing alive, man.
It's some mad truckers out there, right?
Yeah. The truckers are keeping this whole satellite radio thing alive, and then it's growing from there, obviously. But the truckers are paying all the bills right now.
Yeah, you get those. It's amazing, man. I like that.
So.